Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here, returning to you very late tonight for this next album review for Katy Perry's newest record, 143, that I got a chance to listen to for this record overall to see what I was going to think of her new album. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for the 11 tracks that I listened to for this record. There's probably deluxe edition tracks, but I don't care to listen to them. To be honest, I don't care to listen to them, to be honest, because it's just not my forte, basically. So, let's dive right into this album review tonight for Katy Perry 143 for the 33 and a half minutes that I listened to for this record. So, it starts with Woman's World, which is a stinker for sure. This track was hot garbage when I first heard it back in July, and I wasn't excited for this track. This was a big flop, for sure. So, 2.75 out of 5 for Woman's World. She sounds. Katy Perry's just adding too much electronic work in this track. It's just the referencing, like she's thinking it's a woman's world. It's just like, this is kind of cringe, to be honest. And not in a good way cringe. So, basically, 2.75 out of 5. Gimme Gimme featuring 21 Savage is a bad track too. 21 Savage sounds horrible in this track, where he kept saying 21, 21. He did it quite a bit of times saying it while he's rapping, and his raps are just lame, to be honest. And Katy Perry sounds cringy in this track with her singing, so I'm not a fan of this one. 2.5 out of 5. Gorgeous featuring Kim Petras was a stinker for sure too. I didn't like this song either. I think this song can go fuck itself. Kim Petras doing her rapping and singing is not working over me. And I like her music some of the time, but it depends on what I'm listening to with Kim Petras. So 2.5 out of 5. This song is a complete misfire. I'm His, He's Mine, featuring Doishi. This track is just disappointing. It just left me in disappointment, and I didn't like Doishi's rapping in this track. It didn't sound that great. I mean, some of her singing was okay, but Katy Perry just ruined this song with her vocals from time to time. But this one was kind of just a letdown. 2.75 out of 5. Crush is another disappointing one too. I'm not a fan of this one. So far, the first 5 tracks are god awful. Just what I expect from a Katy Perry record. So, 2.75 out of 5 for Crush. It didn't do that well. And just execution wise, I think Katy Perry just sounds generic in this, and she relies on the auto tune with her vocals in this track, and just the EDM vocal sound effect doesn't work with this track. So 2.75 out of 5. Lifetimes is not that great of a track. I'd give it a 2.75 out of 5 for this one. I mean, it tried, but it just didn't execute too well. So basically 2.75 out of 5 for Lifetimes. I'm not a fan of this one. I mean, it tried. It was kind of in the disappointing to man range, but at least it was a slight step up, but not in a good way. Not to say that it's. Excuse me, honey. Not to say that it's the worst track on the record, but it is a disappointing track. Although Love is an average song, I think this track did alright for what it went for. Probably the second strongest track from the record, sadly. And that's not saying anything good. So, 3.5 out of 5. I think she sounded good, Katy Perry's vocals in this one, from time to time, but there were some cringe effects. and cringe moments with the effects, the sound effects, and all that in this track that didn't sound great. So, yeah, 3.5 out of 5. Nirvana is a okay track. It plays it safe a little, but it's not one of the best tracks. So, 3.25 out of 5. Artificial featuring Jid. At least Jid's rapping was good. Katy Perry just sounded generic in this, but I'd give it a meh rating of a 3 out of 5. It's not the worst track on this record, but it is kind of meh. Jid was the only one that actually stepped it up with his rapping style in this track, but Katy Perry flopped with her vocals in this one. So, she relied on too much sound effects with her vocals, and just execution-wise, this was horrible. Kinda almost horrible. But it played it safe to give it a 3 out of 5. Then Truth was actually probably the strongest track on the record. Sadly. I think Katy Perry actually tried with this one. I'll give her praise on this track. She actually tried to make a good song. And this was a good song. In its own way, there may have been some cringe points through this track. But other than that, this track actually tried to succeed. And it almost did succeed if there weren't some moments in the track that I felt conflicted on thinking if it was okay or not. Excuse my yawning. I'm about to go to bed soon, so 4.5 out of 5. I know it's pretty late doing this review. I just want to get it out to you guys tonight, so you have something to enjoy for early Friday's release. Kind of a Friday release in a way. Wonder is a meh track. I mean, it tried, but it didn't succeed too much, but at least it played it safe. I just think with the way it comes in with the intro of the track, with the little girl singing, it was kind of cringy, but I think that was Katy Perry as a kid singing that. But other than that, I think the track played it safe to give it at least a meh rating of a 3 out of 5. So overall, production, mixing, and execution-wise, I did not like this Katy Perry record. This is a bad record, keep in mind. And I'm just so disappointed because this is a record that I knew was going to suck. And I was right. When I heard Woman's World, I'm like, oh god, here comes the cringe fest again from Katy Perry. And it's just everything that Katy Perry puts out, most of it is hot garbage, unfortunately. Some records from her are not terrible, like the last record, Smile. At least it put some effort into trying. But with this record, this is just pop, bubblegum pop friendly. And this is just radio friendly shit. And not good shit. So, first score for me, I'm giving Katy Perry 143 a 4.5 out of 10. Fuck this record. I don't care to listen to it again. The only song I'll come back to is Truth. And that's the only thing. Everything else fucking kind of mid to pretty much garbage. It's pretty much disappointing garbage. So, this is just a try-hard record from Katy Perry. And not in a good way, try-hard pop record. So, pretty much 4.5 out of 10 for 143 by Katy Perry. Hopefully you enjoyed this ranty-ish album review. It's not that much of a rant. It's just more like another fucking terrible album to add to the list of the worst albums. So this will make the cut on tomorrow's live stream, or at 6:30 today in the nighttime in the next, I guess, 12 or almost 15 hours from now. So basically, I hope you enjoyed this album review tonight, and thanks for watching.